There comes a time when the noise of the world quiets, and you begin to see with clarity that not every hand that holds yours is meant to guide you, not every smile is genuine, and not every presence is permanent. Life is not built on the number of people who surround you, it is built on the strength of those who truly belong. And the truth is, you are not meant to discover that on your own. God himself will reveal it. He will separate the surface from the substance, the seasonal from the eternal, the counterfeit from the authentic. For only he knows the hearts of those who stand beside you. There are moments when you may feel betrayed, moments when the ones you trusted most show their true colors, and you wonder why your heart had to endure that pain, why loyalty was met with disloyalty, why love was returned with indifference. But what feels like devastation is often revelation. God is showing you who never belonged, so that he can reveal who truly does. Without the pain of discovery, you would keep walking with those who only intended to drain you, distract you, and derail you from the calling placed on your life. Their exit is not your loss. It is your protection, your preparation, your realignment toward those who are meant to build you, not break you. The people who belong in your life will not just walk with you in sunshine. They will stay through storms. They will not disappear at the first sign of trouble. They will hold steady when the ground shakes beneath you. They will not be threatened by your growth. They will celebrate it. They will not compete with your purpose. They will encourage it. And when God reveals them to you, there will be no doubt. Their actions will echo louder than their words. Their consistency will prove their loyalty. Their love will stand when everything else falls away. But for you to discover who belongs, you must also let go of those who do not. That is the challenge: to release without resentment, to accept without bitterness, to move forward without carrying the weight of those who chose to walk away. It is not your job to beg someone to stay. It is not your purpose to convince someone of your worth. The right people will never need convincing. The right people will recognize the value of your presence without you having to prove it. And those are the people God will place in your path when the time is right. Do not mourn too long over those who left. Every departure creates space. Every silence creates opportunity. Every ending is a doorway, and behind that doorway, God is preparing connections that align with your destiny. People who will stand in agreement with your vision, who will pray for you when you are weak, who will carry your burdens when you cannot carry them alone, who will see your scars and still call you worthy. These are not people who come by accident. They are placed by divine design. When you look back over your life, you will notice that some people who once walked closely with you are no longer present. At first, their absence feels like an open wound, as though you were left behind or stripped of something you could not afford to lose. But what you see as loss is often God's way of shielding you from deeper pain. He removes the wrong people not to punish you, but to protect you. For he sees beyond appearances, beyond words, beyond smiles and gestures. He knows the hidden motives of hearts, the secret thoughts behind actions, the intentions you cannot perceive. And so when someone suddenly drifts away, betrays your trust, or chooses to leave, do not mistake their departure as failure. It is divine intervention. The truth is, not everyone who enters your life is meant to remain. Some arrive for a season, to teach you, to test you, or to sharpen you. But seasons change, and when their role is complete, God will remove them, even if your heart resists. This removal is an act of love. Though it seldom feels like it, to you it feels like rejection. But rejection in the hands of God is never cruelty. It is redirection. It is his way of saying, this is not who belongs beside you for the road ahead. He spares you from ties that would strangle your growth, voices that would silence your calling, and company that would sabotage your peace. Sometimes he removes quietly. People fade, conversations slow, connections dissolve without explanation. And sometimes he removes with force, through betrayal, conflict, or sudden ending. Either way, the outcome is the same. The wrong people are gone, the distractions are stripped away, and your path is made clearer. You may not understand why in the moment, but as time passes, you will see that their absence was necessary. Without their departure, you would not have discovered your strength. Without their removal, you would not have grown into the person you were meant to be. Without their exit, you would not have had room for those who truly belong. It is tempting to chase after those who leave, to beg them to stay, to cling tightly to what feels familiar, even when it no longer feeds your spirit. But holding on to what God has removed is like clinging to a closed door. It only delays your progress. Release is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of trust. It is trusting that God's hand is wiser than your desire, that His vision is clearer than your sight, that His plan is greater than your pain. Every removal is for a reason, and that reason is always for your good. When the wrong people are removed, the right ones can finally appear. You will begin to notice the difference between those who drained you and those who uplift you, between those who spoke with empty words and those who stand with action, between those who celebrated your downfall and those who celebrate your growth. God does not just remove, He replaces, and what He gives is always greater than what He takes. But for that exchange to happen, you must first allow Him to take away what was never truly for you. Their exit is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of clarity. It is the unveiling of truth. It is the preparation of your heart for those who are genuine, loyal, and divinely aligned with your purpose. And though it may feel like loss in the moment, one day you will look back with gratitude, realizing that every person who left was part of the process that led you to the ones who truly belong. True belonging is not proven by words spoken in comfort, but by actions revealed in the storm. Anyone can smile when the sun is shining, anyone can clap when you are winning, and anyone can stand near when the path is smooth. But the measure of who truly belongs in your life is seen when the road becomes rough, when the nights grow long, when the weight of your burdens presses heavy upon your shoulders. In those moments, the masks fall off and intentions are revealed. Those who are with you only for convenience will drift away, while those who belong will remain steadfast, even when it costs them something. Consistency is the greatest language of loyalty. It is not about the grand gestures or the loud declarations, but about the quiet faithfulness that shows up time and time again. The ones who belong do not just come when it is easy, they stay when it is hard. They do not just speak of support, they demonstrate it through action. Their loyalty does not waver with circumstances because their bond is rooted in something deeper than opportunity. They are tied to your soul, connected to your journey, and committed to your well-being. You will see it in the way they celebrate your growth without envy, in the way they encourage your faith without hesitation, in the way they hold you steady when you stumble. They do not vanish when the applause stops or when your mistakes come to light. They remain not because you are perfect, but because their loyalty is genuine. These are the people who belong, and their presence is a reflection of God's provision for your life. Contrast this with those who only appeared strong when everything went your way. They applauded your victories, but grew silent in your struggles. They laughed with you in joy, but disappeared in sorrow. They were near when your name was praised, but absent when your reputation was tested. Such people do not belong, for true belonging is revealed in the fire. The ones who cannot withstand the storm were never meant to walk with you into the destiny God has prepared. And sometimes it is in your lowest moments that God uncovers the truth about those around you. He allows certain trials not to break you, but to reveal the difference between those who are seasonal and those who are eternal. The storm becomes a test, not only of your faith, but of the faithfulness of those who claim to stand beside you. In these times, God whispers to your heart, "Watch closely, for I am showing you who truly belong." The gift of such revelation is priceless. It teaches you to stop wasting your energy chasing those who are inconsistent and instead invest in the ones who have proven themselves through presence, loyalty, and sacrifice. It opens your eyes to see that true belonging is not about numbers or popularity, but about the rare souls who remain when all else fades. Those who belong do not just walk with you, they walk with God alongside you, ensuring that your journey is not one you face alone. When you recognize this truth, you will stop clinging to shallow connections and begin to value the strength of genuine ones. You will see that it is not about how many people stand around you, but about who is still standing when everything else has fallen apart. These are the people God has appointed to remain, the ones who carry your burdens as their own, who pray for you when you cannot pray for yourself, and who remind you of hope when you feel hopeless. Their consistency is the evidence of their belonging, and their loyalty is the proof that God has placed them in your life for a reason. There comes a moment in life when you realize that holding on to what no longer serves you is the very thing keeping you from what God has prepared for you. Many times we cling to people out of fear of being alone, out of habit, or out of the belief that without them we are incomplete. But the truth is, not everyone who starts with you is meant to finish with you. Some connections were never designed to last a lifetime, and the longer you hold on to them, the more they weigh you down. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of faith. It is saying, "God, I trust you enough to release what was never meant to remain." Imagine trying to carry a heavy load up a steep mountain. At first it seems manageable, but as you climb higher, the weight begins to slow you down. The journey becomes harder, your energy begins to fade, and the load that once seemed bearable becomes unbearable. This is what happens when you carry people who are not assigned to your future. They are extra weight on your journey. And God, in His mercy, will not allow you to reach new heights with unnecessary burdens tied to your back. By letting them go, you free yourself to climb higher, to move faster, and to breathe more deeply. It is often in the release that the breakthrough comes. Many times, God cannot bring the right people into your life because your hands are still full of the wrong ones. You are holding on so tightly to what you think you need that you have no space to receive what God has prepared. But the moment you let go, the moment you surrender, the moment you open your hands and release what no longer belongs, space is created. Space for peace, space for joy, space for those who will nurture your growth instead of hinder it. Letting go is painful because it feels like loss, but in reality, it is gain. Every ending opens the door for a new beginning. Every closed chapter makes room for the next. Every departure clears the way for an arrival. When God removes, He always replaces. And what He replaces it with is not just equal, it is greater, stronger, purer. The connections He brings after you release are ones that align with your destiny, not distract from it. They are people who bring clarity, not confusion. They are people who help you rise, not pull you down. They are people who sharpen your spirit, not dull your faith. Sometimes you will not recognize who truly belongs until you have let go of who doesn't. Their absence reveals the space you didn't realize was suffocating you. And though it hurts at first, that pain gives birth to perspective. You begin to see that what you were clinging to was not love, but comfort, not loyalty, but familiarity, not destiny, but distraction. And once you see it for what it truly is, you will no longer grieve its loss. You will thank God for its removal. Letting go does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean bitterness. It means releasing with peace, trusting that God knows what is best. It means choosing freedom over bondage, growth over stagnation, destiny over delay. It means recognizing that the ones who belong in your life will never require you to compromise your faith, your peace, or your purpose to keep them. Instead, they will walk with you, encourage you, and challenge you to become everything God created you to be. So release is not the end. It is the turning point. It is the moment where you finally stop dragging what was and begin embracing what can be. It is the sacred act of trust that says, God, I believe your plan is greater than my attachments. And in that surrender, you discover that letting go was never about losing. It was about making room for something far greater than what you thought you needed. The right people are not simply companions, they are divine alignments. They are the ones whose presence brings peace, whose words bring clarity, and whose actions lift the weight from your shoulders, instead of adding to it. When God places the right people in your life, you begin to notice that they are not there by coincidence. They are there by calling. They fit into the puzzle of your destiny in ways you never could have orchestrated yourself. These are the people who do not just like you, they believe in you. They do not just support you, they invest in you. They do not just walk beside you, they walk with you in the same direction, aligned with your purpose and your faith. They are not threatened by your growth, because your success does not diminish theirs. They celebrate your victories with sincerity and encourage you through your struggles with faith. They are not intimidated by your calling, because they recognize that when God lifts you, he does so for his glory, not yours. These are the ones who sharpen your spirit, who push you to rise higher, and who remind you of the greatness within you when doubt whispers in your ear. Their very presence becomes confirmation that God has orchestrated your steps, weaving together lives that were meant to strengthen one another. And how do you recognize them? You recognize them in the way they bring out the best in you, not the worst. They challenge you to stand taller, to pray deeper, to believe stronger. They do not pull you back into old habits. They pull you forward into new growth. Their influence does not drain you. It refreshes you. Their counsel does not confuse you. It aligns you. Their words do not tear you down. They build you up. The right people push you toward purpose, not away from it. God often sends these people as answers to prayers you may not have even spoken aloud. When you are weary, he sends someone who encourages you. When you are doubting, he sends someone who reminds you of his promises. When you are tempted to give up, he sends someone who believes in you enough to hold you up until your strength returns. They are living evidence that God has not forgotten you, that he equips you not only with strength, but also with the right relationships to carry you forward. The right people also carry accountability. They do not flatter you with empty praise, but they speak truth in love. They remind you when you are veering off track, not to condemn you, but to correct you, because they care about your destiny too much to watch it slip away. They see the bigger picture, and they are willing to stand with you even when it costs them comfort. They are not there for what they can take, but for what they can give. Their presence in your life is not about their convenience, but about God's plan. When you are surrounded by the right people, you will find that your faith grows stronger, your vision becomes clearer, and your journey becomes lighter. They bring alignment where there was confusion, direction where there was wandering, and joy where there was heaviness. And though the wrong people can delay you, the right people accelerate you. They help unlock doors that seemed impossible to open. They carry prayers that reach heaven on your behalf. They stand as evidence that God never intended you to walk alone. These are the ones who belong, and their presence is a gift, far greater than gold. Because when God connects you to those who are aligned with your destiny, He is not just giving you friends or companions, He is giving you reminders of His love, His wisdom, and His protection. And in their loyalty, in their faith, and in their strength, you will see reflections of the God who sent them to walk beside you.